Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargaming Kris, aka The Name Butcher, aka hey you, get off my lawn. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. If you're a brand new viewer, we do talk a lot about painting and a lot of what's under the sun, meaning pretty much every topic, anything and everything. No holds barred, ask away. There are no taboos. I don't know if that's the right one I want to use, but anyway. So, if you're a new time viewer, Way of the Brush, again, is all about you as answering your questions. Now, either you can write them in the chat below if you're joining us live. Of course, if you're watching this after we're live, you can always send me an email, chris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. And of course, feel free to ask. And of course, myself or the monkeys, because the monkeys are very, very helpful. The monkeys always join us live, and the monkeys are a very knowledgeable base of... I wouldn't say human beings, because they're not quite human. They're more monkey-like. They're simians. So they're they're very helpful simians, we'll say. Some very useful mammals in the group. And of course, the monkeys joining us today are Twitchy Kranos. Hello, monkeys. And of course, the Monkey King. Hope everybody have a good weekend. Yes, the Welsh bloke. Hello. Knitfink. There she is. Hello, everyone. Lord Krabby. Sup, peoples. Haldane Urbanus, afternoon all. Ghost to Starman Deluxe. Good morning, afternoon, evening, night, fellow monkeys. Moosehead Painting. Hello to all the monkeys and to the great monkey handler, Kris. Am I really a monkey handler? I think I'm probably more like King Louie in Jungle Book. Just kind of like just this big orangutan-like dude. And all the monkeys are all around. And I'm not really like handling the monkeys. I'm more part of the monkeys than I am handling the monkeys. I'm not handling monkeys. And besides, you should wash your hands after handling monkeys. Soul Edgar, hey y'all. Nice braids. Well, thank you. I try and do something a little bit different with my hair every once in a while, because what's the point of having long hair if you're not going to, style it in some fashion or form, or, what's the point, right? Might as well just cut it all off, go bald. You guys really wouldn't want to see my head bald, because I've got this very bulbous, domish kind of shaped head, and it doesn't do the bald or the shaved head look very well. I can't pull it off. Some cats can look good bald, like Bruce Willis, right? He looks very natural bald, right? Patrick Stewart looks very natural bald. Me bald? No way, not happening. I would look weird, and you'd all be like, "Oh, geez, man, I get painting advice from that guy. He looks weird." Plus, dude, there might be a dent or two up there. I don't know. Aaron Seach. Hey, Kris. Hey, monkeys. Hello. Tolo. Rainy afternoon. It is a rainy afternoon here in the Niagara area. And Tolo, I think, is just over in the rest of Southern Ontario section area, kind of south of Toronto, I do believe. And anybody who's not very familiar with where Mini Wargaming is, we are in the Niagara area. We're like smack dab in the middle of the whole little peninsula that comes out from Ontario in Canada. In case anybody didn't know where I was talking about. But yeah, so we're smack dab in the peninsula, right in the center of it all. We're right below Fort Erie. Well, Fort Erie is south of us, but Lake Erie is south of us, Lake Ontario is to the north of us, and Niagara Falls is just beside us. We're like 20-minute ride from the falls. So if you're planning on coming to visit Mini Wargaming, and you have a significant other, you can convince them and say, "Hey, let's go to Niagara Falls. We'll have a ton of fun." And then when you get to Niagara Falls, go, you know what? Geez, I'm just going to take a quick little ride, and you scoot off and you head to come visit us. And don't do that, because you'll probably end up divorced or something. I don't know. Clumsy Juggler, hello everyone. Eaton R, guys click like for the stream. Guys click for like for the stream. Oh, click like for the stream. Gotcha. Click the like. Yeah, you know what? That's something I really don't do a lot of, is like, promoting, like, clicking the like and hitting the subscribe. And I see a lot of YouTubers, right? It's the usual kind of spiel right at the end, watch previous videos, click the subscribe button, click the notifications. That's another one. I guess YouTube changed their policy a while back, and so like some people don't get the notifications, and so if you are adamant about watching the show and whatever, click that notifications button, because otherwise you're never gonna know. I mean I do send an emailer out, and I do post this on Twitch, so if you're not following me on Twitch, you can go follow me on Twitch. It's in the description below. Okay, enough self-promotion crap. Katarizna. Oh, I'm not even gonna try this last one. Kazinka? I'm probably like off by a mile, but welcome. I'll just say Katarzina. Hello all. Again, name butcher. Sorry. Haldane Urban is still getting used to the new angle. You're getting used to the new angle? I don't know. I find I'm more productive and I'm projecting more when I'm standing, right? That's why when like voice actors and stuff like that, they're always standing when they're doing like mic work and stuff like that. And it stands to reason that I should, as I'm doing this, and a lot of you are just listening to me, that I should be able to project my full voice, rather than sitting where you got your belly all crunched up and you're kind of hunched over, and you're not using good posture. Whereas when you're standing, good posture. Anyway. Where are we? Great Death Angel, hello all. Dr. Xantos, hello monkeys, hello Monkey Lord Kris, hello. Aaron Rob, am I reading that right? Aaron Rowe, hey all. Two Guns Painting, hello Kris, greetings all. Clayton Tate, good old way of the brush. By the end of the episode, my hobby space will be organized, my coffee consumed, and possibly even some priming done. Hey Kris, I got an airbrush. Hey, what kind of airbrush did you get? You get a Badger? You got a Badger, right? Nah, you probably one of those Iwata guys. Johnny's Chop Shop, sup? Haldane Urbanus. I sent 2 emails, didn't want to hog too much time, so you get to them. Please don't read both in a row. Please don't read both in a row. Why not? You sent both. I seen that you sent both. I got them. Eaton R, I think my brain is broken because when I painted my Alpha Legion, they came out green. Well, if you're painting them, you can always, like, if they're a little too green, you could always throw on, say, like Gilliman blue, the blue glaze, and just go a couple light transitions, just like thin it out just a little bit and just apply it, and it should be able to tone that green down a bit for you if it is just a little too green for you. But otherwise, you probably could thin out, say, like a color like, whatever your base, like whatever your mid-tone blue that you used, you could probably thin that out to a glaze consistency, so it's really, really kind of thin, and apply a few light glazes on top of that green just to pull back that green a bit more and put a little bit more blue on it. You could also try that as well. Hopefully that helps. Aaron Robb, what is your take on Blanchu painting style? My take on his painting style is it's a very quick. He's very free flowing. His art style has really been, like really kind of, I don't want to say quick, because I'm sure he probably spends an appropriate amount of time on his models, but then again, I don't know what his work process is like. If it's anything like his illustration work, where it is quite I don't want to say rough, but it's really like more like sketch, right? Where you're kind of quickly sketching out something, and then he's using color really fast. Like he can probably whip out like a whole bunch of illustrations in a day. Like he probably whip out like 50 in a day, kind of thing, right? And they'll all be fantastic, and that's paramount to his talents as an artist, that he can do that. But I find the style oftentimes is very quick for a majority of his stuff. Now, mind you, there are some pieces that he has spent a lot more time on, and they're great. like the original second edition box art with the Space Marine stuff. I'm pretty sure that was John Blanche who did that cover. And when third edition 40K came out, you know, all the Black Templars on the cover of the rulebook and the box art, I'm pretty sure that was Blanche as well. And again, when he spends more time on the art, I really, really like it. His painting, miniature painting, I'm sure he probably doesn't spend that much time miniature painting because he's probably a busy guy with other projects, and he probably doesn't get to play too often if he plays at all. And yeah, so but I mean, like, but his style, like, he really, like, it looks like he really likes the wet on wet blending. He really is a big fan of that. Just judging by the way the paint styles are, it's really kind of fast. He does this kind of quick little layers and then blends something here and there, throw some color. And what I do really like about his style is that he's not afraid to do anything. He's no holds barred. It seems like, as far as like his conversions are always really fantastic stuff. His conversions are really great. His paint jobs, like I said, you know, they're very interesting, and you know, they're what he wants to see, definitely. And you know, but I mean, you know, some people, you know, love it or hate it. You know, it's and I mean that's art. That's art. I mean, love it or hate it, right? I mean, you know, there's nothing you can do. So, but yeah, as far as his style of painting, I mean, like, I like it. I mean, you know, his illustration work, I'm more impressed by his illustration work than his miniature painting. His illustration work is awesome. It's just the fact that he can produce so much crap, and you know, well, I don't want to say crap, but I mean so much stuff, and you know, and of course when he really sits down to do something, it is a fantastic piece of art. Lane 03, smiley face. Smiley face with double chins, I guess. I don't. Is that what that means when it's a colon bracket and then a bracket? Is it like double chins? He's got like double chins. Is that what that is, or is it just you're smiling and just you're like the Cheshire Cat, just many smiles? I don't get it. I don't know. I'm still wrapping my head around the whole emoji thing, or emoticons, or whatever the hell they're called. Lord Krabby, Kris, we don't argue like peoples. We argue like with flinging poo. Stops arguing at least. Yeah, true, Lord Krabby, true. Lane 03 makes for more interesting trophy if beheaded by your enemies. Whoa. Clayton Tate, white guys are good at going bald, myself included. Well, I wasn't going to say anything, Clayton, but yeah, like Clayton has a very natural head. Like, if you've ever seen pictures of Clayton has, you know, he's got like a normal shaped head. Me, bald, doesn't work. Would look weird. You guys would like, I was going to say you're changing the channel, but I mean, you know. Anyway. Tolo, trying to source female catagen torsos is proving difficult. Catagen? Have you tried Victoria Miniatures? She does a ton of Imperial Guard add-on stuff. Fantastic stuff. I'd like to do an army of... she has like add-ons that look like Tanith, which you know, the Gaunt's Ghost guys. Imperial Guards, you know, they got like the onesie suit with a camo cloak, and they look kind of rough. And yeah, I'd love to do like a Tanith Force using her models. Oh yeah, they're fantastic stuff. She was at Adepticon this year. I didn't see her at all, but I didn't get to meet her or anything. But yeah, she was at Adepticon selling her wares. We picked up one model off of her. Anyway, it was a big old model. Who knows when we're gonna get to that one? Dimitri Apton, hello, Mr. Miniature, hi, hey y'all. Clayton Tate at Tolo, use the torsos from those super muscular Necromunda gangers, bubble muscles. Yeah, that's the Escher gang. That'd be kind of hard to get a hold of, because those, you know, those, unless of course you found some, then copied them and, you know, used them, I suppose, but. Samanye. Wow. Anyway, hey y'all. Hey. The Welsh bloke. Dude Kris. Be quite, she is right. They're listening to this. Ruined my plan. Oh, about the Niagara Falls? Yeah, like you just go, honey. Let's go to Niagara Falls. It's romantic. It's you know, it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. I mean, you know, It's really not that convincing. It's so romantic. It's Niagara Falls, for God's sake. It's the honeymoon destination. So if you're convincing your wife, honey, Niagara Falls. That's how I convinced my wife first time I came down here, when I was still living up in Northern Ontario, and I wanted to come down here, and I think it was come down for a visit, and I think it was a tournament at the time, and I came down for the tournament, and yeah, honey, Niagara Falls. John Johnson. Yep, my wife would not go for that. Lano 3. Maybe witch elf torsos. Yeah, green stuff, edges of t-shirts. Sure. Mad Cow Crazy. Just unlocked the Katyusha in War Thunder. I have no idea what that is. John Johnson. You always need to click the bell. Huh? Moose said painting the last bits of Reboot Gilliman today. Gorilla Man. Or sorry, Robot Gorilla Man. I read that wrong. See, the brain said one thing, but really, I had to read it. I said another. Robot Gorilla Man. Gotcha. Ha. I'm still working on mine, too. I'm on to the body. I just finished the sword arm. I did something a little bit different. Hopefully you guys find it interesting. But that's what I did. I didn't do the whole sword like it was, like a flaming blade. I just did the sword so it looked like kind of like flames were flickering off of it, kind of thing. That's what I went for. Just because, I like to do things a little bit different every once in a while. And I know some people are going to ask me how to do something different on there, and so I tried to produce something a little bit different for everybody. So take from it what you will. Actually, that'll be Monday's video. If anybody wants to know how I did the flames. Oh, excuse me. Big friendly wargamer. Hello, monkeys. Hello, Monkey Lord. Harvey Savage. I think Victoria Miniatures has some. Yeah, I think Victoria. Yeah. Katarzyna. Anyway, it's Kate. Thank you for trying your first Polish. I knew some Polish girls back in the day, and some Maltese girls. Anyway, yeah. Kate. Yeah, I think I knew it. No, it was Kathy. It was a Kathy. She was Polish. Yes, it was a Kathy. Anyway. Memories. Lucian Valensor. Morning, Chris. Morning. Dark Cow 11. Hello, Chris. Fellow monkeys. It's been a while since I've been able to chat, maybe? Chat. Must be chat. To chat. Welcome, Dark Cow. Dimitri Abedin, glorious ponytails, Chris. Well, thank you. They're not ponytails, they're just braids. And, again, like I said, what's the point of having long hair if you ain't going to do anything with it other than just tie it back? I mean, that's friggin' boring. Do something with your hair, man. That's why, that's why we have long, that's why our hair grows, so that we can do stuff with it. If you want to keep it short, great. Want to let it grow, great. Do something with it. Style it, There's nothing wrong with styling your hair. At least as far as I know. Dark Commission. Hi, Chris. Hi, all. Hello. Eatnar Hemingway did a lot of his writing standing. There we go. Hemingway. You throw some Hemingway my way with some Hemingway. We're on par. John Johnson. I'm actually thinking of a standing desk for everyone in my office. It all depends. Because some people, like some people might have leg issues, feet issues. You know what I mean? So you might want to, I guess you really don't want to be asking people, well, do you got any medical conditions? But because I think that might violate some workplace policies. But if you're the boss, well then, I just ask who wants a standing desk. It's because it is. I for the last 5 years I've been sitting all day, all my work day, 5 days a week, sitting on my ass and painting, right? And then I'd edit and I'd be sitting, painting and sitting and not doing anything. And then I'd go home and relax because it's a long day. Go home, relax, play video games, sitting, So no good. It's no good for your health, right? You have to get more active. So obviously I've been making lifestyle changes. I've been going for walks, things like that. And The standing desk, it's really for when I'm at my editing computer that I'm standing. And really, I mean, like it's adjustable, but we pretty much could have made a table with long legs and I think we'd have been fine. No, we needed them up and down because, again, just for reasons. But otherwise, yeah, I've been much happier. I've been feeling a lot better standing desk. I mean, again, like I said, it's most likely not for everybody because, again, everybody is different. We're not all the same. We're not all robots. And at least I'm not a robot. I don't know about you, but yeah. So I'm sure there's probably a few people in your office who really benefit from it, and some people who it might not be the right course. So everybody's different. Harvey Savage, you do seem more commanding when standing. Yes, again, because I'm projecting more. I'm projecting, right? And I'm standing, and I'm also able to move around. I can kind of keep my feet going. I can keep my hips going. I mean, like I can do a bit of like normally. Well, okay. If you might have noticed before the show started, it started just a couple seconds late because I was listening to Stevie Wonder, and I was jamming along. And I was trying to keep an eye on the clock, and I missed it. And I was like, oh, no. And I had to come over here and get the show going. Because, I mean, I like me some Stevie Wonder every once in a while. And the old feet just get tapping when that happens. So, can't help it. I have been known to cut a rug once or twice. Steve Lyons, way, I'm early. You're early? The show's running. I don't know if you're early anymore, but where are we? Man. Held Interminus. Well, if you read both, I'm hogging too much time in the show. Well, that's okay. John Johnson, think about standing desk is that I'm not sure how the girls with their heels on would appreciate standing desk. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's not for everybody. I would ask employees, like if who wants a standing desk, who thinks they might benefit from a standing desk, and also too when I'm at my standing desk, I have one of those. You can get them at for we can get them pretty much anywhere. They're the EVA foam tiles. They kind of have like a diamond plate kind of like patterning to them. I'm standing on one of those as well, and as well as my shoes, and so I've got lots of cushion here, and like I said, I'm comfy here. I'm standing, I'm comfy, and yeah, so. Scattered the dice. Hey yo. I like that. Hey yo. It's kind of like old Ed McMahon. Some of you guys probably don't remember Ed McMahon, but he was Johnny Carson show. You guys probably don't even know what the Johnny Carson show was, but it was the original Tonight Show. Anyway, and he used to start like, hey yo. Anyway. King 555 making 30K Space Marine into Power Rangers. Awesome. Cool. Send me pictures. I want to see some Power Rangers Space Marines. Did you see the movie Power Rangers? I went and took my son to go see it because he's a big Power Rangers fan. I mean, I like Power Rangers, but I mean, like, I wasn't like I gotta watch Power Rangers. I mean, I watched it with him, right? I always watch these shows. I always sat and watched my shows with my boy because you gotta because as a good parent, I mean, you gotta watch what your kids are into because you never know what kind of BS is on TV, right? So anyway, Power Rangers, and we went and saw the movie, and I liked how it began, how it kind of had the dark gritty. Like some people, some of you might not have seen it, but there was a bootleg. It's called a bootleg, but it was somebody had made their version of like a darker Power Rangers. It was with what's his name from Dawson Creek, and what's her name? There's Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica. It was with her as well, and the way it started was just really cool. It's like the Power Rangers, they had like machine guns. It was like some war zone, and they're running around. You could see like the Megazord fighting monsters, and it had this whole dark future kind of thing going to it. And the way the Power Rangers, the movie, the official movie started, it kind of had that similar vibe to it. And I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be cool. Like they're gonna do the movie kind of like how they did that short, like it was this gritty kind of future, but no, it was actually set way in the past. And anyway, spoiler alert. As we go on about the spoiler alerts, I'll tell the thing and then say spoiler alert. That's how I do spoiler alerts. Twitchy Granos just got an image in my head of Kris in heels. Slanish is visiting my head now. No, if I was wearing heels, it'd be a little bit more up here like this. I'd be, hello. Or, oh my. Clayton Tate, love Blanchett. Yeah, Blanchett, I mean, like, again, of the old GW artists, because like Blanche has been around for GW for like ever, probably from the beginning, probably. And I mean, for me, Wayne England, his illustration work for Games Workshop was awesome, and Mark Gibbons, and Mark Gibbons is by far my favorite artist that has worked for Games Workshop. His style, the look of his pictures, the detail. It was a lot of black and white pieces that he created, pen and ink and stuff. And they often were just like single characters. They weren't really like big battles or anything. Like Blanche can do like a big battle, right? But Gibbons, he really didn't do a lot of the like battles. It was always character pieces that he did, and I just loved them. Just loved them. His style of illustration is just awesome. And I actually got a chance to meet him the year previous at Adepticon. He was there for Games and Gears. I think he was there for Games and Gears. Anyway, he had his portfolio there, and he actually signed my second edition Eldar Codex for me. So that was awesome. But yeah, it was great meeting Mark Gibbons. It was because he's by far my favorite. And of course, Wayne England, who's no longer with us, he was another one of my favorites as well, because just the style of the skulls, like the infamous style of the skulls with like the angular eyes and the really sharp teeth and just like that whole thing, that's entirely Wayne England's style. And a lot of like, his art was everywhere in Games Workshop stuff. It was everywhere. When you see Wayne England's style, it's a Wayne England piece, because his style was unique to him. Same with Mark Gibbons. Mark Gibbons, like Blanche, Mark Gibbons, Wayne England, their styles, you could not confuse any of their pieces with each other, because they all had very distinct styles to them. Very distinct. Bum 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 bum. Eaton This is my favorite ASMR channel. I can't remember what the hell that ASMR means, but I see it a lot, and I see it like people post it like on some of the quick tips when they go up for YouTube from Mini Wargaming, and I see that comment, and I'm familiar with like what it is. I just can't remember what the hell it's called, but I was thinking of doing, as kind of a joke, a kind of video where basically like, okay, here, like to give you guys an example, I was thinking of, this is not a really good example, reading bottles, like product labels. Okay, so like for example, I'd read it and I'd go like, okay, Life Brand hand sanitizer with vitamin E kills harmful bacteria or germs. Whoop, almost dropped the bottle. I tried to handle it a little bit smoother than that, but anyway. Full money back guarantee for product quality. Manufactured for Shoppers Drug Mart, Toronto, by Belvedere International Inc. Sealed for your safety. Remove before use. And then, of course, I could try and read the French, but the French would be atrocious, me reading the French. But anyway, I was thinking of something like that, just like reading like shampoo labels and just reading like product labels, right? Just, anything that kind of had any kind of text to it, right? like every bottle of Gatorade, reading the nutrition facts. Nutrition facts per 591 milliliters. Amount, percent daily value, calories, 140. Fat, 0%, 0 grams. Sodium, 270 milligrams, 11%. Potassium, 75 milligrams, 2%. Carbohydrates, 36 grams, 12%. Sugars, 34 grams. Protein, 0 grams. Not a significant source of saturated fats, trans fats, cholesterol, fiber, vitamin A, vitamin C, calcium, or iron. I was thinking of just doing like an entire series of just that kind of BS, just sitting there reading those things. Bat 94. Kris, did you ever say where you got those awesome Eldar icons? Like the Samhan thing, I made that. I made it. I printed out a large image of the symbol, traced it out, put that on a piece of plastic card, and it's actually two pieces of plastic card. There's actually I took sprue and cut it out so that just gives me a bit of elevation from the back piece, and the back piece I just again was plastic card, just cut it to shape, and and then of course these icons right here, those are made from styrene or insulation foam, covered in polyfilla just for a little bit of texture, and then through like the little you can go to like the art supply stores and get like the little glass beads, like they're like little gemstones, right? And I just threw a little green stuff around them, create like the bezel, and then just stuck them on there, hot glue right there. But yeah, that's essentially it. And I mean, they're just modeled after the little bits that come in the Dire Avenger sprues, those little things that can go on like the bases. I use them for objectives, but I mean, they're for anything really. But yeah, that's all it is. They're handmade by me, just for decoration. Like that one there, that actually, the Samhan one, I actually had it on my carry case for all my jet bikes, because I had this big ass Fujifilm case. It was a hard case. It's great, it fit all my jet bikes at the time, and I used to have that on the case, but that would not stay. I even hot glued it, and I probably should have used something like resin or something like that, just kind of crunch it on. But I kind of like it dangling there now, So yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Where are we in the comments? Spike U's joining us. There we go. Whoa, how do you say this name? Sears like Yuldar. Anyway, thanks, Twitchy. I'm probably not looking hard enough out there, but there is one on YouTube. Two, I'll have something to start with. I guess they asked the question earlier. He asked the question. Okay, sorry. Kris, I'm just wondering if somewhere in the vault, there is an overall beginner tutorial to airbrushing, setting it up, what you use, any tips, or if not, a video you would suggest. There is a video series in the vault on just that, and it's an excellent beginner's guide. It's done by Austin, who formerly was Brush for Hire, but now is Death Ray Designs. He made a fantastic guide. It's a full DVD series, really, what it is, on airbrushing from beginner to like where to start with it, all the anatomy and all that stuff. It's a fantastic introduction into airbrushing and getting you started. And and in fact, it helped me when I was first getting into airbrushing, that I referred to it a couple times, because I was like, well, what the heck's this thing? And because initially I was like kind of worried about taking apart my airbrush, but now taking apart your airbrush, I mean, it's you have to do it. You have to know how to take apart your airbrush. You have to know the anatomy of your airbrush, because so many things can go wrong with clogs and things like that you have to know how to correct it and fix it yourself, because otherwise you're just gonna, and it's gonna not work, and then you'll be like, what a piece of crap, and throw it in the garbage. When really all you have to do is just clear the nozzle, and away you go again, right? So no, excellent series. It's Airbrush Everything. That's what it's called in our vault, in Mini Wargaming Vault. Airbrush Everything. Awesome series. Highly recommend it to anybody who's new to airbrushing. Go watch it right now. Don't even watch this show. Go watch the series right now. No, I'm just kidding. Stay there. Clumsy juggler. You could read the lorem ipsum text if you really wanted to be random. Yeah, just go on a website template thing and just read the whole thing. Yeah, no, Mad Cow Crazy. There is a poison in that bottle called dihydrogen monoxide. Should make it illegal to add that. It's found in bleach. FFS. FFS? What does that mean? No, I'm just kidding. I know exactly what that means. King 555. If you read this, you're about 12 minutes behind the chat room of YouTube. Am I 12 minutes behind? I probably am. Holy crap, it's already 12:34. Holy crap. Holy moly. Well, okay, no, I kind of like, I kind of skipped some stuff there because I don't know, we were all talking about stuff and I just kind of skimmed through it. Clayton Tate, Kris, I'm making some terrain for my gaming group. I'm going to use blue styrofoam for rocks with interchangeable terrain pieces. What paint should I use to paint them? Cheap and durable if possible. Well, you said cheap. They sell it, it's a brand at Michael's. It comes in tubes. It's an acrylic paint. I want to say it's a Liquitex brand, but it's like a cheaper paint. It's not like the regular Liquitex acrylic stuff. It's more like hobby related. But yeah, I mean, like, just pick up like some Krylon primer, seal that make sure that plastic is fully sealed, and then just use some craft acrylic paint. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that stuff for terrain, because I mean, terrain, you got to do a whole surface thing. Sometimes when you have different materials, for example, like when we use the styrofoam and we put a layer of like polyfill on it, and then we put the primer on it, and then we still put the paint, and sometimes it still absorbs a lot of paint. Like it seems like, you put the paint on it and it just goes like a sponge. It just sucks it in, and you need a lot of paint to get good, decent coverage on your terrain pieces. And yeah, I definitely would recommend, but no, kind of know what colors you're going to use, because I mean, you don't want to go to the whatever art supply place you like, and kind of what colors do I need, and what I mean, like you can never go wrong when you pick up red, blue, green, or red, blue, yellow, I should say, red, blue, green, red, blue, yellow, black and white, and maybe a metallic, right? You pick those 6 colors up, and you should be able to do everything under the rainbow. So you can also give that a shot too. Crap, where am I? Tolo at Kris, doing movie trailer intros. In a world where the villain dies, the princess gets rescued, and the maid turns out to be a double agent. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I gotta work on the movie voice more, though. It's a bit more projection, right? It's in a world where the villain dies, the princess gets rescued, and the maid turns out to be the double agent. Oops, spoiler alert. Mad Cow Crazy, Kris is sad to see viewers drop to 0 once people go watch that video. Yeah, just watch everybody just takes off. Yeah, just sad. Arturo Pitet, right? I'm here late again. Well, it's okay, as long as he's joining us. Broken Brush Gaming. Hey Kris, working on my Dire Avengers, doing them with Ghost Tint Blue and my new Scale 75 Metallics. Awesome. I know I've said it 100 times, but I really like Scale 75's Metallics. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Awesome. And the ghost tints are really great fun. You get a full set of colors. You get a ton of color, because sometimes you do end up using quite a bit of the colors, like to build up. And if you're using an airbrush and you're building it up, especially if you're trying to be subtle, yeah, you can end up using a lot of paint. Clumsy Juggler Latex House Paint works for terrain. You can pick it up by the cans. We're tinted, wrong cheap, at the paint store. Oh yeah, that's another excellent one. Yeah, that's an excellent tip right there. Go to the paint stores and pick up their odd colors, because they often sell them at discount, right? And just get the odd colors. Maybe they have like a foresty kind of green for grass and hills and things like that. Maybe you find nice blue, brown, reds, whatever, right? So yeah, that's an excellent idea. And latex will provide a really good barrier on your terrain, because terrain is going to get manhandled lots. We often don't treat terrain like the models that we so lovingly cherish, and we often just throw the terrain into a box and carry it off, or put it in a shelf, or whatever, right? We kind of just throw the hills on top of each other. We got the buildings and stuff, and they all just stack on top of each other, right? You wouldn't imagine doing that with like all your rhinos and stuff, right? You wouldn't just stack them on top of each other. Well, some of you might, and shame on you. But again, some of you might. I don't know, but you really should package your models better if you're going to go to like a tournament, or just to pick up games and stuff like that. Anyway, especially if you've lovingly painted your models. And I can't imagine anybody who's watching this doesn't lovingly paint their models. So pack your models correctly. Tolo, go to the dollar store and get the El Cheapo paint. Yep, dollar store works as well. It really doesn't have to be high, viscous and high pigment type paints to do terrain. It doesn't have to be. It can be pretty cheapo stuff. I like that latex. Going to the paint store and picking up the odd the mist colors, pick them up for discount and stuff like that. I like that idea too. That's an excellent one. Jameson have, it's called Dollar Rowney. Oh, is it Dollar Rowney? Okay, yeah, the simple acrylic. They come $4 in big tubes at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, the big tubes, and the whole tube is like the color. It's like clear plastic and it looks like the color. Yeah. Okay, yeah. That's the one. That's the ones I'm thinking of. Simply acrylic. And I thought it was Liquitex, but it's Roller Downey or Dollar Rowney. I always want to say Dollar Rowney. Dollar Rowney. Roller Downey. Anyway. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Aaron Seach, building the Death Ray Designs Deadly Dungeon. What would be the good way to create a moss effect on dungeon walls? Excellent. You can probably go to Woodland Scenics and pick up their little turf. And they also have like fine grit turf and a fine grit. So what I do is I take a little bit of thinned out PVA glue, not too thin, but thin enough that it would flow from, like, say, like a little disposable brush, right? And I used to do this on terrain pieces, and draw like a little viney type pattern, and then sprinkle that fine turf onto it, and it gives you that slight texture of that turf in that pattern. Another one I used to really like for that job was the old GW flock, which was the granulated cork. It was just a fine granulated cork. I used to really like that one for that job because it would give me that little bit of texture and be the right color green, and so I used to use that one a lot as well. So but Woodland Scenics, they have fine turf. You can try, and you get it in varying colors. Woodland Scenics, I mean, like, they have tons of stuff for getting that texture down right. Otherwise, I mean, like, you could texture it. I mean, man, sky's the limit, really, as far as how far you want to go with, what was it, vines or moss? No, you wanted moss. Yeah, I would go fine Woodland Scenics then. Yeah, if it was a mossy kind of look, yeah, go with fine Woodland Scenics. And pick whatever color you want. Serious like you, Dar. I'm still having a hard time saying that name. Kris, are you going to paint any Caradon Overlords? They look like amazing models. I don't know. Maybe. I really wouldn't bet on it, but I might. I don't know. Because again, like I mentioned I mentioned it in this week's Sit and Talk. And after I'm done Gilliman, I'm probably going to run regular quick tips for a while. I'm not going to do it unless, of course, Games Workshop comes up with some kick-ass kit, which they might. And 40K is coming out, 8th edition, so there might be some crap out of that I'll probably have to do too. I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, I might. You know what? Ask it in the comments in the mini wargaming videos under the quick tips or whatever, and say just that. Are we going to see? And what specifically do you want to see? Because, I mean, doing it as a beginning to end, because, I mean, like, Steve's currently putting together some of the little boats and stuff like that. They're a lot of fun, but, as a quick tip, that would be horrendous. That would never happen. But if you want to see how to do like the glowing effect, or, painting the little bombs, or doing the trim, the gold, painting the little bauble things, whatever the heck they are, something like that. I mean, something specific, right? That's what quick tips is about. It's about something specific. I know lately quick tips really hasn't been like that, because I've just been kind of doing it as a beginning to end kind of crap, but I'd like to return to just answering specific stuff, because it takes forever, man. It takes forever. So anyway, where are we? Oh, okay. I read that one. There we go. Arturo Petit, too thick mad, but I've learned something in life is that everything can be used depending on the hole you wanted to fill. What? Out of context? That's too thick mad. Too thick mad. If you want to learn something in life, is that everything can be used depending on the hole you want to fill. Yeah, that's what he said. Dr. Santos, email time? I think it is email time because we are 45 minutes into the show and we have not touched an email. Lord Krabby, Kris, did you see the new Star Wars trailer? No, I didn't see. Was there a new Star Wars trailer? I didn't see a new Star Wars trailer. When did it drop? Like today? Because if it was today, then I probably missed it. If it was yesterday, it's possible I missed it, but not likely. But if it's today, if you're talking, Lord Krabby, are you talking today? Because don't tease me like this because you all know how I loves me some Star Wars. The Wounded Warg. Greetings, the Wounded Warg. Warg? I have a Warg. Where is he? Oh, he's hiding behind models. Never mind. I was going to show you a Warg, but never mind. Anyway. Welcome, Warg. Yeah, welcome. Hellday Nervous, welcome. Lord Krabby, LOL. God, yes, they're equipped with pipe bombs. Urkum. Urkum. I don't know what the hell we're talking about here. Anyway, Mad Cow Crazy had to talk with my trade manager over at the GW about new Marines. She said she talked to her boss and been told that all current models will be usable in 8th, same way as metal terminators can be used. So from that, it seems all current Marine ranges will be phased out with newer, larger Marines. Jeez, I couldn't spit that out. Yes, that's the way it kind of looks. Apparently there was some talk that, somebody was asking the new Marines, yes, you can still use your old Marines, but after a while, all you're going to be able to get is the bigger Marines. And the old smaller Marines will be eventually phased out. But we're probably talking like a year or 2 years maybe. You can still use your Marines. It's just the scale's going to be a little bit off, right? Of course, unless they, the last Q&A about the detachments and stuff like that, they make mention of like tournament play, right? So I wonder if it's going to be like the General's Handbook where they make for competitive type play type, clarifications, which is interesting. And it's pretty exciting for everybody who's into 40K tournaments, myself included. I am interested. I've been known to attend a tournament or two, scale change. If they make it that's official, like you have to use the current official models, I think that would be BS. I think that would be a mistake on any tournament organizer's part to limit people in that regard. To a certain degree, right? Using a pop can as a dreadnought doesn't float, but using older official GW official models, they should always stand, regardless if they're made last year, this year, or 30 years ago. So they should all still stand. And, it's your own aesthetics that, really is kind of a question, right? Kenny Larson would like to see Quick Tips doing wah-powered power claw. A wah-powered power claw? Like green lightning and other stuff like that. Interesting. Okay, I see what you mean. So it's kind of a wah power claw. I was trying to do that without being too loud, and I was. Whoa! Anyway, you got to really kind of tense up the diaphragm as you do it and kind of force it all out. Whoa! Anyway, So Kenny Larson, we be all using models like the size of Forge World Statue Marine. Eventually, you might be, but imagine a rule set that was detailed that you could do that. Use that guy, because he's a pretty big model, right? He's about 8 big, and that would be fun. Like one Marine against 2 orcs, and playing out a game like that where he's got to hide and shoot, gets shot, ding, off his armor. Oh, penetrates in. Oh, he's got to quickly bandage himself up and keep on going. That kind of I'm talking that kind of detail. That'd be cool. Rather than it's a D6. I'd rather see some better probabilities out there. Rolling like D20s. Not D100s or anything like that. That's too crazy. D10s. I like D10s. D10s are, D20s tend to roll too much for my liking. D10s got a number of probability, and you can add 2 of them, and you can go to hundreds, and you know what I mean? So, I like D10s. D10s. Like a game system with and we don't see any game systems with D10s. I mean, like, as the primary thing. At least, not that I've seen. I mean, I can't say I'm familiar with every game. Everything seems to be D6s, which kind of limits you, probability-wise. Kurt Krishon, super late, working from home so much has me forgetting what day it is. Happens. It happens. Matt got crazy. Is WA Power Green? Yeah, WA Power Green. WA Power Rangers. WA Supremacist? Supremacist. WA Supremacist. No. WA Supremacists. Oh, I get it. They're WA Supremacists, right? WA Power, right? WA Power. WA Power. WA Supreme. Sorry. You know what? It's coffee time. I get it, though. It's not funny, but I get it. No, it's funny. But not funny. Haldane Urbanist said, Chris, so you're basically talking about old 54mm Inquisitor with some tweaks. Yeah, exactly, man. That's what let's play some friggin' Inquisitor, man. I want to see Games Workshop bring Inquisitor back, because I'm sitting on a bunch of Inquisitor models I want to get rid of, but I kind of don't want to. And I was thinking about eBaying them because, like I have Inquisitor Covenant complete, all pieces, not even touched, along with some other stuff as well. You might see them on eBay sometime. Who knows? Sean Lorway, it's all right, Chris. We've been watching a future battle report, and we will just hear random "what" in the background of it from you. Yeah, it might be. Spike you. Shadowrun uses D10s. Okay, Shadowrun uses D10s. Cool. I never played Shadowrun. Never. I know. As unbelievable as that might seem, I've never played it. Moosehead painting. 1-to-1 scale Marines are the next thing. 1-to-1 scale would be awesome. Just crawl inside. I'm a Marine. And try and punch each other. No. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Email time. It is email time. It's email time. It's email time. Oh, hold on. Welsh Bloke has a question here. What's the best way to assemble a canopy for an aircraft? If I glue first, the gray plastic shows through the clear plastic of the glass. But if I paint first, will the plastic glue work? No, it will not work. So if you're using regular kind of that really smelly, liquidy plastic glue, it has acetone in it. And that's what makes the plastic bind, right? It basically melts the plastic, forming a weld. But when you have a paint there, the glue does nothing. The glue does not react with the paint. So you're best off using super glue, or for canopies, you could also get away with using PVA glue, just a little bit of PVA glue, and it'll hold that canopy in place. Because oftentimes the canopies have no weight on them, and there's often, and really because when you want to use PVA glue, is because sometimes people have a really bad tendency to use too much super glue when they're using super glue. Super gluing a canopy in place, all you need, a max, is 2 tiny little dots of glue. That's all you need, is 2 tiny little dots of glue, just like on the front and back, glue it into place, and that's it. That's all you need. And because even though it is going to be a paint-on-paint kind of situation, the super glue should hold in place, and the paint should stay in place, and it all should work just fine. You should be fine. But using PVA glue, because if you use too much super glue, you can frost that clear portions of the canopy, right? You can get that super glue frosting, and that's bad, and that's going to be really annoying. And then you got to come in with like rubbing alcohol or whatever to clean that off. It's really annoying. Whereas if you use a little bit of PVA glue, same kind of thing, just a couple little dots, slap it on, let it dry, and it should bind that piece into place, and no worries. But yeah, that's really about the best way to go about it, is you're either going to super glue. Now, of course, you could also, if you know the contact points, if you know where the good contact points are, you could also take an X-Acto blade and clear a little bit of the paint off both surfaces. So that's bare plastic on both sides. Apply your plastic glue, or you're probably better off scoring it a little bit, just lightly, and then applying your plastic glue, and then having the 2 parts bind. That's another way you can go about it. And that way you also don't worry about frosting the glass, because that's the big thing, right? Is using the super glue, because if you use too much, which a lot of people tend to do, and you end up with that frosting on the canopy. Basically, what ends up happening is any super glue that's on the inside gets trapped inside that little enclosed space, and those fumes build up in there, and that's what causes that frosting. If there was like airflow, you wouldn't get that frost. At least unless of course you laid a huge amount onto the model. But again, why are you using huge amounts of super glue on just little parts like that? So yeah, hopefully that helps. So now we are going to, Aaron Seach, cover the canopy in future floor polish and let dry and prevent fogging if you use super glue. Okay, now see, I'm not in the habit of clear coating the canopies. I'm usually just in the habit of basically just I basically freehand paint. Like my Eldar canopies, those are the canopies I often end up painting, and I usually just do them by hand or liquid mask the clear portions and then quickly paint the areas and then peel the mask off, and but otherwise no, I often don't seal the glass first. I usually just go right on top. But anywho, let's do an email. And so that's the wrong mouse. Let's do an email. An email time. I said email time. Email time. This is from Dabian Hibbert. What do you this, sir? What do I this, sir? I like it. I don't know if he has any other comments in here. No, he doesn't. So we're just gonna admire Damien's paint job here. And this is Karos, I think he said it is. I can't remember what this model's called. I wanted to say it was Fate Weaver, but it's not Fate Weaver. It's some other dude. So anyway, this is the back side. And of course, we've got some dry brushing on the wings here. Let's zoom in a bit here. Can we zoom in a bit? Yes, we can. It's nice and clean. Paint's where it should be. One thing to be mindful of when you are dry brushing, and I probably mentioned this a few times in videos, but I will mention it here for posterity. When we are dry brushing these big textures like this, and you want to have this color gradient, control your brush strokes. And so, for example, you have a deeper color here, and you want to get lighter and lighter and lighter as you build out towards the outer edges of the feathers. You can do that, with your dry brushing, of course. You can go with your deepest color first, and then dry brush your lighter color, and then a little bit lighter, and then just a little bit along the ends. And that way you build up a nice little gradient on your wings just by dry brushing. Of course, you can also do it by wet blending as well, and then dry brush like a final layer if you want. Oh, there's many, 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 many different ways to do wings and such. But the back side of this guy looks cool. Here we are on the front, or a side profile. I like the transition on the beak, or beaks, I should say. Is this free-handed here? Oh, this is some nice free-handing here. Some Egyptian-looking text and such. Jesus, he's got some scary-looking little fish on the top there. That's freaking me out. It's like a wicked-looking sturgeon or something. Anyway. I like the color choice for the base, too. And the effect on the base is actually really neat. Is that a pre-purchased base? Is that the base that comes with the model? Because it's kind of cool. I like the texture. I like what you did there. It looks like you built up the highlights and then put like a clear coat on it, like Minotaur's magenta or something. And then they gave you that final kind of transition like that. That's really cool. If that's what you did. If that's not what you did, then please share. But otherwise, really, really cool. I like them. The dry brushing is good. Like I mentioned before, I mean, like you see how like you got this transition going on the beaks. You can achieve that similar result with dry brushing, in similar areas. Like for example, like the thigh here, right? Building your color just towards the knee, where you just very lightly, just dry brushing, just the top of the knee kind of thing, just the top of the toenails, and bringing just the color back from the feet, back from this reverse joint here. The chest and area can be kind of tricky a little bit. But whereas, you concentrate on just the muscle groups, and so you just concentrate your brush strokes there, leave it a little bit darker in the armpit areas, the elbow, and yeah. But otherwise, I mean, it looks fantastic. I mean, I like it. It's a good paint job. And again, I really like your transition on the beak. The beak is really nice. And the little sturgeony dude on top here, freaking me out. It's not really freaking me out. No, I'm kidding. It's really freaking me out. It's freaky. It's really freaky. Okay, cool. Thank you, Damien, for sending that in. Here is another email. This is from... Oh, this is regarding something else. Okay, never mind. We're not doing that email. We're going to do this email. This is from... Boss Vanderkreft. Kreft is Dutch for the lobster. He's the lobster? Awesome. The fighting lobsters. Anyway, hi, Kris and Josh. Oh, yeah, this is when Josh was on the show there previously. I recently got interested in Warhammer 40k and painting, especially the Renegades and Heretics army. I was wondering what is a good point to start collecting a Renegade army. Also, what is a good place to start learning to paint and do conversions? I am a bit apprehensive about painting, even though it seems really fun because I have a disability that makes my fine motor skills pretty bad. Do you think something like this will restrict my enjoyment? Thanks for all the cool content. You guys got me to get a Vault membership. Greetings, Boss Vanderkreft. Or the Lobster. From the Lobster. His Dutch from the Lobster. So he's Boss from the Lobster. From the Lobster? Bass? Boss? Bass? Anywho. A good starting point for the hobby. Well, obviously, if you're going to get into Warhammer 40,000, then the guys who make Warhammer 40,000 are probably one of the best places to start. That's Games Workshop. Go to their site and they'll have tons of information and buying guides, and they'll have various painting guides as well. And of course, when you want something a little bit different, maybe it's something just a little bit different, come to our site, Mini Wargaming. And of course, you're already a Vault member, so you've already seen a lot of the crazy crap that we do and a lot of the fun stuff that we make, and of course the painting videos as well. And I mean, we have a ton of videos in the Vault on painting, so if you're curious about that. Now, you said you have a little bit of trouble with your motor skills. Well, I don't know to what degree you find difficult to maintain, but there are other things out there that could possibly help you. For example, if you have a hard time, say, holding on to the model, well, you can find model holders out there. Now, I mean, like, not things that are going to just hold on to the model, but also like will like, it's like an extra set of hands essentially. Basically, you put the model onto like a little alligator clip. Basically, it's Tamiya's model holder is what I'm talking about here. It's a little stand. It's got some weight to it, and it has like all these little like bendable, flexible arms that have little alligator clips. Like, these are alligator clips here. Alligator clips on the end. And basically, you just kind of clamp your model onto that, and it'll hold it in place. And so if you can manage to hold your brush fairly steady, you should be able to touch and paint your model fairly well. Because oftentimes, right, if we're not able to hold the model or paintbrush very well, right, it's two things. Right? It's two things that are moving that are going to make it difficult to paint. Whereas if we can eliminate at least one of those things or one of those problems, right, and just concentrate on just holding a brush steady, then you should be able to enjoy yourself. Hopefully, I'm hopefully not getting your hopes up here or anything about that, but there are a few options out there. It's called Tamiya. It's called a model holder. You can find them on Tamiya's website under their tools section, because they make various modeling tools, because this company has been around for a while, and it's basically geared towards models like ships and airplanes, World War II kind of stuff. But I mean, it would serve your purposes well as for holding the model in place while you paint, and I think that might help. Now, there's nothing really for, as far as paintbrushes are concerned, for holding a paintbrush still, other than I can think of something that would allow you to hold the brush comfortably, right? Because when we're holding a miniature, right, holding onto a small basis, like your muscles in your hand are really tensed up, and so that's why it's better to hold something that's kind of larger so that your hand can stay relaxed. And same for the paintbrush. And really, I know they used to make, I don't know if they still make them, but you could probably get like the little silicone add-ons they used to make for like pencils and such. You might be able to find those for that will fit your paintbrushes if you have any kind of particular paintbrushes you like. Citadel ones are fine as well. I mean, you're pretty much, as a beginner, you're pretty much going to be going to Games Workshop for a lot of your stuff, for your paints, your brushes. I mean, there are other options out there, but it's easier and their stuff is readily found. It's, whereas, I mean, for North Americans, like finding like Scale 75 stuff is not particularly easy. I mean, it's not like most places don't carry that stuff. And Vallejo is another one that, great paint line, but not easy to come by. Whereas Games Workshop paint, it's everywhere, and so again, the paintbrush, holding that paintbrush more comfortably might also help as well. So like, if it's fine motor skills and if your muscles are tensing up and you find you're having difficulty there, then maybe having your limbs and your hands in a more relaxed position might actually be easier for you. Is also another thing. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully, you can get started, and let me know if this does work out for you. I mean, like I'm just kind of throwing suggestions out right now. I'm just theorying here for you. I mean, it's not until you start putting into practice what's working, what's not, and let me know what is working and what's not working for you. I will find very informative, because again, at least it'll clear up some of these ideas that I have in my head about comfort and ability and things of that nature. So please do share. Oh, you're here today, boss. Okay, am I saying that right? Boss. Anyway, yeah. So again, let me know if that works out for you. If you can find some paints, find something to hold onto the miniature so that you can hold, like something that you can kind of like this little arm here for this mic. You see, it's fully bendable. That's what these little arms are like, and so you can hold the model in place, and then you can just paint the model as such. You know what I mean? So if you're having trouble with motor skill, right? Hopefully that does help. But again, I'm not 100%. So let me know. Let me know what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So again, hopefully that helps. And thank you for the email. And send me another email. Oh, wrong email. Or wrong email. Wrong mouse. Right email. Wrong mouse. Comments. Oh no, Josh is here today. Oh no, Josh is in the comments. He's in there. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. Maybe we're even Josh. Has anyone painted up the Lord of Change as Big Bird? Has anybody done that? I don't know if anybody's done that. That's actually not a terrible idea. A Big Bird Lord of Change needs to be a thing. I think so. That's actually a good idea. I thought he was just coming in here just to be a smartass, but no, he's actually spitting out some good ideas. The Welsh bloke, that's Chris's next quick tip series. Doing Zinch models as big birds. Yeah. Kevinized Way of the Cramped Hand. Yes, that's it. Tolo, episode 56. Kris never cramps. Not while I'm painting. No, not while I'm painting. Job was left out. Wouldn't a Way of the Brush shirt help? Wouldn't a brush? Yeah, the brush. Yes, the Way of the Brush shirt would help. It will help you paint. It magically will help you paint. Oh Lord. Anyway, Dark Cow 11. Kris, do you have any tips on how to paint the horns on a Thunderhorn from the Beast Claw Raiders? Any tips on painting the horns? I'm not familiar with the Thunderhorn from the Beast Claw Raiders. No, I'm not familiar with which horn that is. But if it's, well, I mean, because I don't know, I'm not sure exactly what exactly the horn is. We're probably gonna have to figure that one out, I guess. The Beast Claw Raiders. Hold on here. I'm gonna try and grab the hell's it called? The Thunderhorn from the Beast Claw Raiders. Are we positive on that name? Are we sure that's the name? The Beast Claw Raiders. Beast Claw Raiders. Age of Sigmar. Okay. Oh, that's the old Gnarlhorn or whatever the hell they're called. Rhinox. Right? Is that what we're talking about here? Those old Rhinox models? And those big, like, water buffalo-like horns on them? Oh, okay. What specifically did you want to know? Any tips on how to paint the horns on a Thunderhorn from a Beast Claw Raider? Really, I mean, base them, and I think a light dry brush. Like, say for example, if you paint them, if you started off with say a dark brown, say we're gonna go normal typical brown kind of scheme, right? You go with a darker brown, say like dryad bark. You base them. Then you can come in with something like Deathclaw. Is it Deathclaw brown? Dreadclaw brown? It's a lighter brown, and very lightly, you dry brush 3/4 of the way of the horn, allowing a little bit more of the color to build up on the ends of the horn, and keeping it very light as you transition out towards where it connects up to his head, right? Then you come in with say Screaming Skull, and a very very light dry brush, and you do just like 1/3 of the way along the horn, allowing a little bit more of that color to build up on the end of the horn and transition out. Oftentimes the way the models are done though, like I'm looking at like how they do them, and it looks like a combination of like they're doing a couple glazes to build up a transition, almost getting like it looks like an icy kind of hard effect on them. And so really I guess it's kind of what kind of effect you want to go for on the horns. I have not painted the horns myself, but yeah, if that's a quick, easy way of kind of getting the horns done. And then if you wanted to, push the color a little bit more, bring a little bit more warmth into the color, or cool, you could go with like a very light shade wash of like Nuln Oil or Agrax Earth Shade. A fun one would be, if you're going to add a little bit of warmth, Seraphim Sepia, just a light shade wash of that along it, just to change the color up, but just a hair and marry some of those dry brushings as well. So hopefully that helps. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not entirely 100% sure exactly what part of it is kind of troubling. What kind of particular effect were you looking at or you wanted to achieve? That would be much easier to answer, I think. Not really, but anyway. Thunder Tusk. That's what it's called. Thank you, Josh. A Thunder Tusk. Haldane Urban is Way the Brush t-shirt and painting snake oil? Yes. It is snake oil. In fact, I should probably put that on the shirts. Snake oil. Dark Cow 11. Oops. No, don't oops. Just, yeah. Just let me know which kind of effect you were looking for, right? John Redcorn. Greeny Kris. How are you? What's a good airbrush to buy and paint to get to? This might come as a shock to you, but I would definitely recommend Badger and Minotaur for your airbrush and airbrush paints. I like the Patriot 105. It's a pretty darn good airbrush. I've been using this exact airbrush. I've been using this since I started using it, the airbrush, and this is 4 years old. 5 years old, getting on 5 years old. The only new addition is the high roller trigger. I like this high roller trigger. It is so comfortable. We're talking about comfort and using your brush and using your paintbrush. The high roller trigger, definitely. If you are going with Badger airbrushes, get yourself the high roller trigger. It increases the fulcrum on the brush, like your lever, but it's more comfortable, because before your finger is like, I can't do it with that hand. Here, I'll do it with this hand. See, previously your finger's down like this, right? And you're it's this kind of motion that you're moving the lever, whereas now the lever's up higher, and see, it's much more relaxed, like that. I really like it. So I definitely would recommend. And I mean, as long as you take care of the brush. I mean, like, see, look at inside of my brush. Again, like I said, this brush I've had since I started airbrushing, and this, as long as you take care of your brush, it'll take care of you. And this airbrush has been doing just that. And Minotaur paints, for what you pay, they're good value. They're color match pretty good with Games Workshop colors. That's really what I think they were designed to color match well with, was airbrush or Citadel colors, the older paint line, not the new one, because the new ones they threw in a couple more colors just to throw off everybody, of course. And they changed the names. Even through this new paint line, they've changed names. I don't know what they're doing, but anyway. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, it might come as a shock to you, but I would go with Badger and Minotaur paints. Can't go wrong. Otherwise, I mean, like, I know people like their Awadas, and Pache is another one. And as far as airbrush paints, well, I mean, Scale 75, they're airbrush paints. They're brush and airbrush paints. They're ready for both. Vallejo airbrush. You also have MIG ammo, which is airbrush ready as well. Who else is there for airbrushing? I'm forgetting somebody. There's probably a lot of people I forget. Oh, Golden. I like Golden as well. Golden for some other jobs as well for airbrushing. But yeah, Patriot 105. It's an excellent workhorse. It's a good beginner kind of brush. I still use it. It still does a ton of my jobs, from priming to base coating to some minor effects and things like that. But yeah, there you go. I like it. I use it. I use it almost every day. China all the time. Matt, Dark Cow. I wanted to go with the icy look on the ends. Okay. So when we're doing the icy look on the ends, okay, kind of like how you see some of the box art and some of the other pictures you see of it, where they do this icy thing. The little facets of the horn, you know how like there's the flat plane edges, you know what I mean? It's a plane here, then a plane here, and a plane here. You know what I mean? Treat those, if you want to take the time now, if you want to do this effect right, take the time. Go light blues. If you want to go for icy, I would start off with something like, you can start with any kind of mid-tone blue. And then all you got to do is bring your brighter colors down to the bottom of each facet. So if that facet, you start off dark blue, go to a lighter blue, almost white. You can even take it to a white if you want. You don't have to go that dark blue. You can go like mid-tone blue, like Calf blue, or Calf blue is a little too light. Altdorf or Caldor Sky. Yeah, Caldor Sky is another mid-tone blue. Anyway, you can start off with that, build it down. So on those little facets you see on the horn, right? Each of the little faces, you're treating them all individually. Okay. Now on the upper portions, you can stay brighter because those are kind of reflecting upwards, right? So you stay a little bit brighter, but on the side faces, you build a darker color downwards on each of those little facets. Then you do an edge. You follow the edges of it, all the edges, with a little bit of white or a really light blue, like pink or a blue horror. The edge paint, blue horror, and you do the little edges, and that'll give you an icy kind of look. And then, of course, you can follow it up with a coat of art coat, and the horns will look like ice or ice covered, like covered in a layer of ice. But yeah, so hopefully that helps. A quick tip on it, who knows? I know Steve was painting a bunch of these up. Maybe I might scale one off them just to show this effect. If you ask really nicely in the comments on the videos in Mini Wargaming, either on the free site or the free videos or the pay videos if you're a Vault member, you never know. So hopefully that helps, Dark Cow. Bat94 at Tom Hammond. This I must see. Look through his pics. Posted around 11th of Feb. I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, we're talking about Tom Hammond, who's one of the players in my area, have a big bird one, complete with weathered Sesame Street sign at its feet. Okay, cool. Well, you gotta post a link, man. You gotta post a link to that. Post a link. Post a link. Please post a link. Peldane Urbanist. Patriot 105 always sounds to my brain like Vietnam era U.S. tractor artillery. Takes me a second to remember it's an airbrush. The Patriot 105? Well, yeah, because it's spraying freedom every time you use it. You're spraying liquid freedom on your models. Because you're a patriot, damn it. Sean Lorway at Kris. Since 3rd edition, I've been hand painting my models. I'm interested in getting into airbrushes, but don't have a large amount of money. What do you suggest for cheap airbrush kit and compressor? You can probably find a compressor for. My first compressor was $30 on Fleabay, eBay, and that was 30 US, and it didn't have a compressor tank on it, but it did have a moisture trap. Definitely find one with a moisture trap. And like I said, I found mine for like $30, and it was like a bulk sale, and it was like a liquidation sale or something like that. And so like they had a whole bunch of them, but it didn't have the storage tank on it. Now, if you can spend a little extra money, find one with a storage tank on it, like a 1 gallon tank on it or something, because I found in my experience the ones without the tank, where you're running the air straight from the motor, okay, well, the motor constantly runs, so the motor's going to get really, really hot. So you got to be careful of that. If you have small ones in the house, they possibly could burn themselves. So be careful. And also, I found that when the motor is constantly running, the air coming out of it was actually more like almost like a sprinkler kind of thing, right? Where it's just kind of the stuttering kind of. I know that's really descriptive, but that's what I found. Whereas with the storage tank, with a gallon tank on it, where it can compress, fill that tank with air, and then you release a constant stream of air out that storage tank. And I found that's way better. If you can afford that kind of tank, that's way better. Okay, because you're going to get more consistent air out. But if you're just looking to get started into airbrushing and you're looking to, just kind of get going, if you go to any of the like big box art supply places, I know like Michael's, they carry a lot of Badger brushes, and they often have the coupons for like 45% off, 50% off, stuff like that. You go get the coupon, go pay for your airbrush. Your airbrush should cost you like $50. About $60, I think, because it's normally like 120 for the brush US, so $60. Cheaping out on the airbrush, you could have problems occur, and you don't know if it was the manufacturing, if it's the quality, if it's this or that. Whereas if you spend just a little bit of money to get pretty much what pretty much everybody's kind of using, then you kind of can already work out where your problems are, and any solutions that are out there, which there are going to be lots of, they'll apply to you as well. So I know, get ready to spend a bit of money, but the one place where you can save a bit of money is in your paints. If you have a large collection of paints, well then don't worry, because most of those paints, just thin them out a little bit more with either medium or water, and they're ready to go in the airbrush. So that's one place where you can save a bit in this airbrush kind of crossover. It's really not a crossover. When you switch to airbrush, you're not everything's, it's not like you get rid of everything and you're strictly airbrush. You still have everything else. It's just you're adding an airbrush. You're adding an airbrush to your arsenal, to your tools of stuff, and and that's it. That's all it is. It's not like airbrushing is the end all be all for painting. It's far from it. It's just a tool. It's just another way to get paint onto your models, and that's it. That's all it is. Because a lot of people have it in their head, well, an airbrush is going to make me a better painter. Wrong. Very, very wrong. It's not. You have to learn the tool. You have to take care of it and everything like that. There's a bunch of stuff that has to come along with that tool as well. And there is a learning curve when using it. So be prepared for that as well. But it sounds like you're really doing a lot of your research. Awesome stuff. Continue. Like I mentioned before, the compressor, you can probably find a cheap one on Fleabay, something like that, maybe Amazon. But if you can afford it, get one with a storage tank on it and the moisture trap, because you're going to need that. And of course the airbrush, look for the deals. Amazon often has some of those airbrushes. I know for a while there, what was it, like the Sotar was, you could pick up for really cheap. What the hell is this +1, +2, +3 crap? +4. What the F? Oh, email time? Is that what we're saying? It's email time? Oh, is that what we're saying? We're just straight up demanding it now? Emails. Give us emails. So, hopefully that helps. Oh, you guys are saying +1 to that. The Moosehead Painting says episode 156, spraying freedom everywhere. Okay, that's it. That's the name of the show, spraying freedom everywhere. We're going to go with that because this isn't democracy, but we'll pretend it is. Just like we pretend democracy is a democracy. Anyway, we're not getting into that topic anyway. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Aaron Seach. Yeah. Get a compressor with a tank and a moisture trap. See, again, monkeys, very, very helpful. And of course, they'll pretty much, we are all pretty much on the same wavelength here. Again, if I do miss questions, the monkeys are very helpful as well. Arturo Patet, patriotism, and freedom are two different things. Don't go that way, Kris. No, I was being funny. I was using it for comedy effect. But yeah. Anyway. Dimitri Abedin, liquid freedom from Patriot sounds like napalm. It is. It's liquid freedom. Spraying liquid freedom on everywhere. On everybody? Are we saying on everybody or everywhere? Spraying freedom everywhere. Yeah, we're spraying freedom. Anyway. Tolo, episode 156. Kris, don't cramp while spraying freedom everywhere. Don't cramp up. Yes, don't cramp up. Jameson Half, I've been using my airbrush for priming and base coats. It's been saving me a ton of time, and it will, yes. If you have a ton of models to get through, an airbrush is a good investment. Definitely. Yeah, get the airbrush for practical reasons. Don't get it because, oh, I want to do OSL on my model. Because the first time you try it, you're gonna mess up your model. So get it for practical reasons. You want to prime a bunch of models. You want to base coat a bunch of models. And get into other things and stuff like that. Actually, you know what? Today I'm thinking of today. I think after the show today, I'm gonna jump over to Twitch. Okay, so everybody here who's paying attention right now, I'm thinking about starting a Twitch stream shortly after the show, and I'm gonna do something different. It's gonna be with the airbrush, but it's different. So be ready for something different. On Twitch, on my Twitch channel. It's in the description below, I think. Anyway, and yeah, so I think we're gonna do a Twitch live after the show. Psycher 156. It's about the airbrush does not make you a better painter, Kris. It's about the thing. No, airbrush does not make you a better painter. It doesn't. It doesn't make you a better painter. Time and effort and practice will make you a better painter. Now, no other tool out there is going to make you a better painter. The Way of the Brush t-shirt might make you a better painter, but that's possibly snake oil. And so, yeah. I've got nothing to follow up that with. Sir, like you'll dar. Anyway, at Kris, thanks for the advice on the airbrush stuff. I feel it in line. Well, good. And again, as I mentioned before, in Mini Wargaming Vault, we have an excellent DVD series done by Austin from Brush for Hire / Death Ray Designs. He did airbrush everything. It's a fantastic DVD series. If you're brand new to airbrushing, watch it. You have to watch it. You have to. Because it's a well-constructed, well-laid out, organized video series that makes it all very clear. Excellent. I watched it and I was great. I thought it was great. Mikey Egan, spray on abs. Yeah, I need some spray on abs. The Welsh bloke, will your steady hand grips make you a better painter? Okay. In most regards, a handle for your miniature, right, that is comfortable, it will make you a better painter because you'll be painting more comfortably. And if you're more comfortable, you're less likely to jitter, stutter, whatever, tense up, cramp up, whatever. You will become a better painter. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that my steady hand grips will make you a better painter. I'm saying that the handles, attaching your model to a handle, will make you a better painter. That will make you a better painter. That could be anything, including a steady hand grip. Kevin Leadbeater, the Way of the Brush t-shirt will make you look like a better painter, at least. It will make you look like a better. And I mean, like, it's part of that whole fake it till you make it rule, right? Fake it till you make it. That's it. Wear your Way of the Brush t-shirt. You can't paint worth a dime, but you know what? You look like you can. People will be asking you, hey, do you know how to do this and that? And you'll be like, yeah, I watch Way of the Brush all the time. I know how to do that. I invented it. Mikey Egan, I feel like epic facial hair helps too. Sure. But if I shave this off, it's not like any of my talent disappears. I hope. Maybe just how seriously people take me, I don't know. Because once I shave, if I shave, because we're getting close, kids. We're getting really close. I'm getting tempted to really shave this off because she might be a hot one this summer, and I don't know if I feel like dealing with facial hair this summer. I'd rather be all smooth. Smooth. Anyway. Aaron Seach, what is the purpose of putting Windex through your airbrush when cleaning? Seen you do it several times in videos. The airbrush, when I'm putting Windex through, it's the part of the final rinse. Now, normally when I'm running the airbrush, okay, right? So I'm getting ready. I've got, like, say, a little bit of color left in my pot, and I'm just going to dump it. So I just dump the excess paint. Now, if there's a lot of paint there and it's good, I haven't mixed it with anything, I haven't thinned it out or anything like that, I often just pour it right back into the pot. It's perfectly fine paint back into the pot. Then I have my little water. I use a little pipette, little thing here, squirty eyedropper thing. Eyedropper, there we go, eyedropper. I grab clean water. I always have a cup for clean water, and I grab it, and then I squirt a bit into the brush, and then flush it a couple times like that, just dumping it out. And then what I'll do is I'll grab clean water again, and then I'll squirt it in there, and then I will start the air pressure, and I'll work the trigger back and forth, just to dislodge anything that might be in there. And I'll do that 2-3 times as needed. And then oftentimes I've been in the habit lately, and that's how I keep my airbrush nice and clean, is I'll grab some clean water, spray it in there, not spray it, but I'll pour it in there, and then I will work this back and forth, like sucking in and out the water, and that's just to rinse out in between the needle and everything, right? Because oftentimes we'll get paint stuck either up on where the needle is contacting the nozzle or back towards the main body of the little well here, because there's this little gap, right? And there's either back further, paint can gather, or up in the nozzle can gather, right? So oftentimes what I'll do is I'll water and I'll flush and I'll squeeze this back and forth and, work the water back and forth to do that. And then of course I'll start the air pressure and flush it. And then once that's all done, and I spray a little bit of water in there, and I'm happy with that the water is coming back and it's like, pretty clear, then I spray it with Windex, just as a final flush out. And what I'll do is when I have just and it's just one like little squirt, so like it only fills like the well up, like barely a fifth of the way kind of thing, right? What I'll do is I'll work the trigger back without the air, and then I'll release it and just let the Windex sit at the tip here, and just let the Windex break up the paint on the end, because the Windex is breaking up the paint. That's why I'm using Windex, is because the ammonia in it is breaking down the whatever paint residue might be in there. And then of course it's 2 more flushes after that of water. So it's a lot of flushing to remove paint between colors. And of course when I'm done and I'm ready to put this thing away and I'm done for the day or done for the week, whatever, then I often draw the needle back, clean the needle, re-lube the needle, and put it back in. And then I'm done. Like I said, you gotta take care of your brush. That seems like a lot of steps, but my brush is perfectly clean after 5 years of, I'm going to say 5 years. I don't know how long it's been, but I mean, we can probably track it down because it's a vlog video I did a long time ago when I first would start playing with the airbrush. And yeah, from that point forward is when I really started using the airbrush, and it was when I using the Patriot 105. And that's the exact same Patriot 105 that you'll see in that video, you'll see today, and I still use it today. Again, take care of your brush. Take care of your brush. Especially your airbrush. Because again, like I said, you spend a lot of money on this stuff. You might as well take care of it and make it last, right? No point in spending a lot of money on stuff if you're not going to take care of it. Because then you're going to have to replace it. And then your hobby is even more expensive, because then you're constantly spending money on equipment rather than miniatures. And I'd rather spend my money on miniatures rather than equipment. At least for me, anyway. Let's do an email. Cocking 555 sitting on the Twitch channel for swap over. We're not done this show yet. I mean, I didn't say we're gonna like head over there now. I mean, we're gonna after the show, and I mean, it's not gonna be like right away. I mean, a few minutes here because I'm probably gonna, catch my breath and relax a moment, and then jump on. Let's do an email time. What's this? Jameson Half. Okay, so it's 1:30 p.m. here in Buffalo. Oh, you're in Buffalo? I'm hanging with the monkeys and doing some hobby work, and I'm going to have a beer. Don't tell my wife. Molson Canadian. Steady hand, steady painting hand. Oh, Molson Canadian is a steady painting hand. Sure. I've been known to imbibe a drink or two. And, I find that, I'm a little bit mellower. But then there's a certain point where it's a fine balancing act, too much, boop, and too little, up, so it's a fine balancing act. Aaron Seach, if you get into airbrushing, also invest in a small jewelry cleaner or ultrasonic cleaner, giving a great airbrush good deep clean. Yeah, ultrasonic cleaner is very good. I recommend ultrasonic cleaning your airbrush if you are a very heavy airbrusher, at least once a week. Or as needed, really. I mean, like, my airbrush is not, you can't eat off it, but I mean, it's pretty darn clean, and I like to think I take pretty darn good care of it, because even on my tip there, can we see how the tip even barely has a little bit of paint on it? That's because just my flushing procedures and my, like. It's kind of like photography. Okay? Get it in the camera. Get it right in the camera. And that way you don't have to do anything afterwards. Right? Take the picture right the first time. Cleaning the airbrush. Do it right the first time. And you don't have to come back and do something special later on. Right? Now I say ultrasonic cleaner like these once a week. I honestly think it's been a couple months since I put this through the ultrasonic cleaner. And I really don't feel it necessary. My lever goes back nice and smooth. Once a week it gets good. It gets a fairly thorough cleaning. Really, it's the needle that really needs to be especially cared for, because you gotta make sure there's no paint attached to it, and keeping it well lubed. Make sure that no paint gathers. So, yeah. So definitely. But yes, an ultrasonic cleaner, just like Aaron Seach mentions, definitely helps. We have one, and for a while when we were all airbrushing pretty heavily, we'd have to throw them all in, and of course we do them in a reduced bath of simple green, nothing too abrasive, just because you don't want to hurt the chrome plating on these brushes. So, but definitely. Also, Kris, it's Ulduar. Anyway, still butchering it, but let's do an email. This is email time. Of course, we got to thank Guymere Alfer for that. Oh, wait. I didn't switch that. Okay, so this is from Zachary. Kris, Lord of the Monkeys. Turns out I finally followed direction this time by attaching my pictures but to the email. I suppose without such context, my Eldar looked haphazardly. The Autarch with the myriad of busy colors was from many years ago, at least 10. Wow, okay. When I had a little understanding of color theory. But fear not. I have listened and taken what you said to heart. Okay. Attached are pictures of recently done Eldar Rangers and the Vizarch himself. Cheers, Zach. And so let's have a look at his Vizarch. Now he's got his colored, very similar to how he's done by the Games Workshop art, like the box art. Very cool. I think you're doing kind of the same effect on the sword. Almost there. I think a couple lighter little glazes I think would have helped you out. I think I'm going to assume that glazing is still one of those newer techniques for you. Now the glazing looks like it's pretty good here on the eyes. I like that. Highlights on the cloak I like. And over the body overall is very cool. Again, he's got all these little details on it, and it's kind of tricky at times, but very good. Very nice. Good tabletop. He's ready to go. Again, I like the work on the cloak though. It's really nice. Highlights are nice. Simple and effective. Wee. Gemstones look good. Again, as I mentioned with the fur and dry brushing, because it looks like you dry brushed your fur. Make sure that you remove a lot of paint from your dry brush when you are dry brushing. I like the camo pattern. Looks good. I like the little texturing on the gun. I kind of like that. That looks cool. Kind of breaks up the lines of it all. The foliage I like. Again, I like the camo pattern. I like that. That's very cool. It almost looks like World War II German, like the tank kind of pattern that they had. The kind of like spots, kind of like a stippling kind of spots kind of thing. That's what that kind of reminds me of. But very cool. Oh, was that it? Was that it? That was it. Well, thank you, Zach, for sending that in. Let's do another email. Let's do this one from Reziel. We haven't heard from Reziel in a long time. And so let's read an email. Oops, crap. Forgot to change windows. There we go. Leaving his email up on the screen there. Oh, no, his email wasn't present. You're just looking at all my crap. Anyway. Hey, Kris. I hope you're well. This is Cullen Ryan Ship. Anyway, a.k.a. Reziel Wargamer. It's been a long time since I messaged you. I took a very long hiatus from 40k genre, but have always remained a mini Wargaming Vault member, and as always, value your contribution to the community. Well, thank you. Anyway, I'm rejoining the Grimdark slowly and have also begun airbrushing. I wanted to ask your advice on purchasing a quality, fine detail airbrush. I currently own a Badger Patriot 105. Thanks so much, sir. Okay, so Reziel, aka Cullen. Well, I use toting the Badger line today. I use a Renegade Chrome. Can we get that in focus? Focus. There we go. I use a Renegade Chrome. And I also put a high roller trigger on it. Because comfort. Excuse me. So, that was really loud for everybody. I apologize. Anyway. Renegade Chrome. Also another good one is the Sotar 2020. I hear a lot of good things about that one. I've never used it myself. Apparently it's very comparable to this one. I guess it's a similar type setup, I guess. This one's good because it's got this little stopper on the back. You can basically adjust how far the needle will go back so that you can't, overflow an area, which is kind of nice. Other than that, it doesn't have any other little embellishments or anything like that. It's really entirely up to you. It's got a smaller cup for holding, but that's fine too, because oftentimes you're not doing any heavy duty work with this. You're doing just a couple drops just to get that little, like if you're doing OSL or something, right? Just a little couple of just little spots, and that's it. Definitely though, would recommend for all your airbrushes, especially if you are using Badgers. Get these high roller triggers. Pick those up. They're only a couple bucks. They're fantastic. Great add-ons for your brushes. And you just pull your old one out. Like obviously you know how to disassemble your brush. So I just put this new one in, and yeah, I got one for Lee from Adepticon. I got one from Lee, and Lee doesn't really do a whole lot of airbrushing, and he's relatively new to airbrushing, but he really liked the trigger, and so I liked it. I fell in love with it immediately. I noticed a world of difference. Control, you notice it in control, but you notice it more in comfort. And when you're comfortable, as I mentioned earlier, if you're comfortable, you're painting better. You're a better painter when you're comfortable. So, but yeah, I definitely would recommend the Renegade Chrome. I like it. It works for me. And as I mentioned, you take care of it, it'll take care of you. So, definitely. But yeah, Sotar 2020. For a while there, it seemed like people were getting those for dirt cheap, and it's pretty much the same brush, I think, from what I understand. Also, too, the Badger Patriot Extreme can also can go for a tighter needle, and it has the trigger. It also has a airflow controller in the nozzle as well for finer work as well. So that's also possibly another thing you want to look at. But hopefully, Colin, Raziel, that helps. And let me know what you get and how it works out for you. But I definitely would recommend picking up the high roller triggers. Get those triggers, man. Put them on all your brush. Put them on your Patriot. Put them on all your brushes. Put them everywhere. Buy a bunch. Make them like jewelry and have a whole bunch hanging from your neck. Don't do that. That's a waste. Rest in peace, ears again. Well, I can't help it though. If the intro is loud, if the music is loud, I mean, it's supposed to wake you up anyway, right? Healthy and Urbanus. It's a nice camel pattern. I like the subtle pattern on the Ranger long rifle. I did too. I like that patterning on the rifle as well. I thought it was really, really cool. Cheminized. Did he roll that mini in the mud after painting it? Possibly. I guess he probably wanted to go for maybe more of a dirtier kind of look, because yeah, they did look, but it also looked a bit like it was his shade wash as well. It looked like he applied a fairly heavy shade wash on them all. It looked like he applied his camo pattern and then did a heavy shade wash, which is about how I would do the camoing and like painting the model if I wanted to do like camo pattern and then have like deep shadows and stuff like that. That's probably the best way to go, is do your pattern first on the bare color and then shade it and get all your color depth that way, so that you don't have to like try and shade each of the little blobbies and stuff like that. It's it's the easy way to do it, right? But I would take it easy on the shade wash. I wouldn't lay it on quite as heavy as possibly it was laid on there. So yeah. King 555, one last email. Maybe, sure, why not? Okay, let's do an email. Let's do another email. This is from Awesome Graphic Intro. email time. Email time. I just like how the monkeys trail off. And of course, again, for those intros, for those email intros, Guymere Ulfer, aka Carl, thank you. Those are awesome. This is from Vil, aka Dr. Xantos, aka Doctor, aka Toast. Greetings, Kris. Here's a few pics of my Murderfang proxy for my Deathwatch themed Dreadnought army. Cool. Thank you. Please come again. Thank you. Please come again. Sorry, I had to do the Apu voice. So, here we go. Here is his Murderfang for murdering. For murdering. Very cool. So he's got this lighter color going on in the one arm. Is it kind of like a frosty kind of effect? Is that what that is? Because I noticed like the helmet looks different. Like he's obviously Space Wolfy, but he's a Deathwatch, right? Because he's Deathwatch, but he wants to be Murderfang. He still wants to be Murderfang, but he wants to take part in the Deathwatch. And so, yeah, I guess that's what I'm looking at here. Okay, here we go. Right. Yeah, because he can retain some identity from his previous chapter, right? or while he's on loan to the Death Watch kind of thing. Very cool. I like it. Interesting base. Is that a cast base, or did you green stuff that, or what'd you do for that, Doc? Are you still here, Doc? I don't know if Doc's still here. Here goes another pose. Is this like at your local store? Or is this in your basement? Because you got like a really nice hobby setup if this is your basement, dude. I like the base. I like the model. The edge highlights, I don't think you have to worry about going too far with the edge highlights or have an intermediate color for your edge highlights, right? Because I mean, like looks like you got like a darker color. Like I'm gonna guess, like say it's Inky by Darkness, and then this lighter color, it looks like almost like it's, man, I don't know. It's like a lighter gray, almost like Administratum gray or something along those lines. Maybe even a blue, like Thunderhawk blue or something. But definitely, I would go with an in-between, a transition color. Something like Dark Reaper. If this is Inky by Darkness, I would go with Dark Reaper next. And then this lighter gray. And this just very minimally at the corners kind of thing. But very, very cool. He's a Murder Fang. Sorry, that's just fun to say. Murder Fang. For murdering. Holy man. You know what? Geez, this is like Justin's collection. I don't know if any of you guys seen this on camera in any of the videos or not, but Justin, he does our shipping and handling and answering the phones for us. And on his shelf, he's got a collection of minis. And he's got like this dreadnought fetish going on that's like all these different dreadnoughts, and I don't know if he's doing them Death Watch, but this is kind of the similar kind of thing here. But anyway, yeah, very, very cool. I would not want to face this group on the battlefield. Not that I'm scared, because I mean I just bring all destroyer weapons, but because I'm an Eldar player. A loathsome Eldar player. But again, thank you, Dr. Santos. Oh, you are still here. Okay. The base is from Dragonforge. Okay, Dragonforge. Very cool. Yeah, they make some good bases. The pics were taken in our club room. We have a lot of gaming stuff there. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, also a Dreadnought army. Sucker for the Dreads. Yeah. I don't know if Justin still has all his Dreadnoughts set up. I was trying to look to see if on his shelf his office his office is like directly across from me, adjacent to me, and so yeah. But very, very cool. Dr. Santos, Dreads are the best looking and fluffed units. They're fluffed? Really? Their units are fluffed, eh? Huh. I'm surprised we went the whole 2 hours without like any innuendo like that. Fluffed units, but hey, there you are. You know what? Just for giggles, and because I want to hear the jingle one more time, let's do another email. Email time. Email time. It does have a Cookie Monster sound to it, doesn't it? This is from King 5555555. He just straight up starts into his email. Chaos Black, Zameshi Desert, XV88, be used to hide the texture or underlay. Crackstone. Oh, he's saying Crackstone layer, Arg Armor Gold layer, and then Tassel Ceramite White. And then Smoky Ink. Oh, I think because I think we were talking about his custodes, right? Was that what it was? We were talking about his custodes, and I was asking about how he achieved his color. Is that it? Is that what we did? Anyway, first setup in laying the moss is to think how and what moss to use. This is moss question. Using dry but can be done with layer paint, Nurgling green, for lichen as a base, then stepping up to Hellion Green to make the moss patch darker, then into Niblet Green to be the dark feel like moss. P.S. I know it looks bad camera for some to cameras sometimes do that. I know it looks bad. Cameras sometimes do that. Okay, yeah, there we go. Sorry, God King. I was struggling a little to get through that. Okay, so here we go. Here is his custodes. Now he's gone with kind of a mossy kind of look to them. Kind of gave them an aged kind of look. They almost look nurgly almost. Is that the intention, that they're nurgly? Is that a thing? Nurgly? Weathering the gold and giving them that really rough appearance. You definitely have achieved that. Holy man, look at this. Very, very interesting. I like it. I mean, it has a very rough look to it. And it's very distinct. You should drill at your barrels. I'm just teasing. That's minor, dude. Yeah. I think like a final dry brush just to capture some of those edges, or even just an edge highlight on some of these edges, just like say something like Ushabti Bone or Screaming Skull, very, very lightly, very, very minimal, just to capture some of those edges. And I think you have like a real winner here, because I mean, like, this is really, really kind of rough. Also, if they're having this really rough like look to them, might I recommend like the chipped edges effect, where you take a deeper color and a little sponge, and you just very lightly tap the edges and just create that very chipped paint look. Especially if you're going for this kind of weathered, kind of beat up, aged kind of quality to them. Like maybe, they've been on guard standing outside for ages and ages, and they're finally called to battle, and it's like almost like they were like statues at one point, and something fun like that, I think. But yeah, very, very interesting, very, very cool. Thank you for the email, Caw King. I dig it, and I'd like to see you push that effect just a little bit further. Again, as I mentioned, various effects for doing like the chip paint effect, and I think that would look really, really cool. It would add to that whole kind of really rough, weathered kind of look. I don't know if you're a Vault member, but I have many videos doing that effect. And getting that weathered kind of appearance. Last kind of time I think I can recall doing that effect was on Death Guard Marines. I think was the last time I did it. It was Death Guard Marines, and doing the armor and making it look very chipped, because that's the first thing it kind of reminded me of was Death Guard, and that's why I was sidetracked essentially, because I was getting this kind of nurgly kind of feeling to them, right? But if they were going for like more of an aged kind of appearance, because I mean, I'd imagine guys who are superhuman, who are totally dedicated to the Emperor, they could stand outside, for days on days, and just stand there and, be on guard. And while it's raining and pouring and, moss is starting to gather on them, and, what I mean? Like, yeah, you could imagine it, super dedicated guards like that would just be standing there and then don't move until they're, they're needed, kind of thing, right? Very, very cool. Very interesting idea. And I'd like to see you take it a little bit further. It's not difficult to do those effects that I mentioned. If you're not sure about what I'm talking about, send me another email about, and I'll try and, either point you at the videos, or I'll give you a rough description, or who knows, maybe we'll do a quick tip again and we'll show the effect one more time. I don't know. Who knows? Anything's possible. So anywho, what time are we at? Holy crap, we're 2 minutes to 2, which means we've got 2 minutes left of the show. I think we might have learned something today. And we didn't get derailed too far. We didn't get derailed. I'm kind of impressed. We got a name for the show. Yeah, we were right on track today. We got a bunch of emails read. We got, 7 emails? 7 emails read today. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for me, anyway. I mean, I mean completely fluffy. Completely fluffy. Fluffy units? Fluffing units. Mad Cow Crazy, in 1 month, formations will be no more. Yes, I've heard that. I was a little disappointed, but apparently we're supposed to get something a little better than formations. I do kind of like how, the way forces are organized, and this point system that we're going to get a peek at down the road. So, yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited for 8th edition. I'm excited for it. I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I'm like Pippi Longstockings here, waiting for 8th edition. I should just like style these and just put them up, or get really excited. Just anyway. Mike Egan, I'm sure there'll be some new cheese stuff with the command points and whatnot. Yes, and whatnot. That's the real question. Is the whatnot? Logan Hoffman, hey Kris, would you mind show us your whole collection of Battlefleet Gothic, please? Not right now, but I could probably show you later, or maybe on Instagram, maybe on Twitter, maybe on Way the Brush Facebook page. Also, is it possible to see more games between you and Cooler again? I would love to. I have, I've got to give that kid a call, because I haven't seen him since Adepticon, and before that it was a few months. It was like Christmas time, I think. It was the last time I saw him. Man, yeah. So yeah, I know. I mean, he's busy. I'm busy. And, and it's getting together for a game and stuff like that, and also too, I got to visit Ash because I haven't seen Ash since Adepticon. But I mean, before that, it was ages before I seen Ash. So, I gotta go visit the boys and because it's always fun to hang out with them and shoot the breeze because they're always good for a laugh. Arturo Petit, that's creepy, Kris. I am. Well, I mean, come on now. Is it any surprise? I'm creepy. Sorry. This may come as a shock to some of you, but I'm creepy. Ghost of Tyrant Deluxe. No formations. The only thing we've heard of that I've found disappointing. I don't know. I mean, for some armies, the formations was interesting and flavorful, right? In some armies, it was downright unfair, So I think eliminating those kind of things, I think, where it gets, because again, they make mention of gearing towards tournament play. So are we going to see Games Workshop returning to the tournament scene? Is that why they've been, touring around looking at tournaments and some of that and seeing how it's going and seeing and reporting back and saying, this is how they're doing it. And this is, what's popular. This isn't what's not, you know what I mean? And so has the Warhammer TV team really been running reconnaissance? I think they have. They're spies, damn it. No. I mean, like any good company, of course you do your homework, man. I mean, that's all it is. You're just doing homework. Haldane Urbanus, hopefully they mean only the way they were getting out of hand and some found them complicated. Yeah. I mean, like, really, I think what also was the other thing is because you could have armies of formations, you could also do battle forged, and it was two different kind of things. And so when you were looking at an army on the table, you weren't sure exactly what kind of army are you looking at. Are you looking at a battle forge? Because I mean, sometimes you purchase a formation, but I mean, it doesn't say that formation has to stay in a formation. You could just purchase them to meet the criteria for the formation to get the special rule, which was kind of bogus, right? I mean, a formation really kind of like how it was initially conceptualized for what was it? When formations first came out? Remember, it was the tank. It was the tank supplement. Was that 6th or 7th? That was 6th, eh? Where you could get tank formations and how you deployed them on the tabletop, guaranteed the rulings and stuff like that. Anyway, so many friggin' rules. Mad Cow Crazy, formations ruined the game. It made it so that all armies could use all the current formations and gain the same benefits. It could stay. Okay. Held in Ernest, at least from the Elder perspective, they were great, really fluffy, not many tax units, potentially very powerful, but not necessary. Not necessarily. No. For Eldar, some of them were kind of fluffy and some of them not so much. I mean, I don't know. Some of them were alright. I mean, like, it seemed like they really wanted to push the Wraiths, and everything was very Wraith-centric. You know what I mean? Like, Wraiths, you can get Wraiths in everything, every formation, essentially. And you can get multiple Wraith Lords or Wraith Knights, And I don't know if that was the intention, because you could really kind of break formations like that, right? So, yeah, I don't think it was really what they were intending. Angel Hernandez. Hello, everyone. Hello, Angel. You're late by 4 minutes because I'm ending the show. Dimitri Abaddon. Apocalypse had the first formation. Yeah, Apocalypse had the first formation. Yes, sorry. Apocalypse was the first formation. Because one of the old fun ones was the Wraith Knights. Or, yeah, it was Wraith Knights. And like the more Wraith Knights there were, the better they all were. That was a goofy one. Helding Urbanus. I agree 100%. They should have been contingent on deployment and use. Yes, exactly. They were just kind of like, I can purchase these 5 rhinos, and I purchased this 1 Land Raider, and now it has this special rule. But you don't have to deploy them together. And it's like, well, what the frig is the point then? Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So, yeah. I think we're done. Yeah, Dr. Santos, have to depart. I think I got to go too. I'm going to head over to Twitch there very shortly. So if you're not familiar with my Twitch channel, it's in the description below. I'll be heading over there in a bit, but I'll probably do a little tweet as well, just to remind everybody. And yeah, we're going to do something different over there. It's going to be different, so be prepared for that. It's going to be painting related, but it's going to be different. So, anywho, I think we learned something. If you have any questions, comments, you want help with a painting scheme, maybe your commission painting service, you want to help, a little bit more exposure, get noticed, whatever, or you just want to show off your work, send it to Kris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. Of course, join me on Twitter, Instagram, and I also do the Facebook thing, Way the Brush Facebook page. Of course, if you click waythebrush.com, it'll take you immediately to the Facebook page until I get a website built. And of course, amongst other things, I have to get finished. It's always this, juggling of things. And, I mean, there's only so much time in the day and only so much energy Kris has. And so, yeah. Way the Brush t-shirts, of course, they help the cause. Well, I'm not wearing one today. I'm actually wearing a mini wargaming one today. But Way the Brush t-shirts, if you want to look, like you can paint, snake oil. I have to have that in brackets in the bottom, snake oil. And of course, then spoiler alert, snake oil. Spoiler alert, snake oil. I don't know where else to go. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna head over to Twitch in a few moments here. I'm just gonna collect my thoughts and set the area up and get ready for the next thing, because I'm probably going to do it for about an hour or so, but just something a little extra. And of course, for everybody who doesn't do Twitch, I'll be posting the video. Might be later today, but it'll be later at some point. Yeah, take care of their brushes. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys next week in another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with this guy. Maybe a guest. Who knows? You never know. And why is my mouse being funny? There we go. Oh, no. Yeah, there we go.